Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. Another first alert weather day because of these cold temperatures and that brutal wind as well. So we'll get right over to meteorologist Jill Gilardi for a check on that forecast. Hey, good morning, Jill.
Good morning.
Hi.
Yeah, the wind causing issues in different ways across the country, driving those fires, and in California here, making it feel so bitterly cold. And those gusts, one more day, 2 more days. How about that? First alert weather days for 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts. So yeah, it does not feel pleasant outside one bit. And the whole state honestly should probably be under a wind advisory, but the Weather Service has decided to keep that for Litchfield County. I mean, we've had 45 to 50 mile per hour gusts yesterday. Look at that, 52 in Meriden. And yeah, we could see that again today and tomorrow. Right now, they are still very gusty, even to start off the morning. Overnight, it was like, are you gonna relax any little bit? Barely. 30 mile per hour gusts in Meriden, 32 in New Haven. And look at that flag crazily blowing in the wind in Torrington. This is how it feels. So you're dressing once again for that single-digit lower teen feel. It's painful on the skin, that's for sure, and really not much of a warm-up because those winds are going to stay strong all day long. So while it'll be bright, it's a very chilling feel outside with those teens. Feels like temperatures for today. So eventually, the winds and this extreme cold will back off, and then we turn our attention to a little bit of light snow for Saturday. More on that forecast coming up a little bit later. Of course, we're going to get an update now on traffic with Caitlin. Hold on to the steering wheel today.
Oh, no kidding, Jill. It is another blustery day. We're going to rinse and repeat tomorrow as well. But I do have an update here. So this first alert in East Windsor, Route 5 has been blocked off between Route 140 and Newberry Road for a police investigation. We just heard from East Windsor police. They found a suspicious package. Connecticut State Police bomb squad was also called to the scene. Everything is safe. Nothing illegal was found, and the road is now back open. So that's a little bit of good news. However, still following this first alert for you in East Hartford, 84 westbound between exits 57 and 56. We've got multiple lanes blocked off, including the HOV. That far right-hand lane remains open, so traffic is kind of just squeaking through the area very slowly. We do have delays as you're approaching the capital city region here this morning, so heading from East Hartford into Hartford. If you are heading to work, give yourself some extra time to get through this scene safely and slowly. We'll get you another update on that incident coming up, but I'll leave you with your drive times as we are seeing some delays down through Fairfield County. Rest of the state moving along. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Well, Old Man Winter must have his dancing shoes on today. It's another cold day in Connecticut. Shelters are busy.
And there are a few things that you'll want to keep in mind before you head out. Your reporter, Luke Hydash, is in Vernon picking up our team coverage.
This here behind me is the Cornerstone Shelter in Vernon, Rockville. It's open year-round, but particularly during these cold snaps is when they get a lot of people coming in needing help, and that is true across Connecticut because it is just downright dangerous to be outside for too long. It's been a while since we've had cold like this. It's easy to forget just how frigid it can feel. It's important to not spend too much time outside. Cover up as much bare skin as you can, and the big one, layer and layer up, especially important to protect yourself against frostbite and hypothermia.
We wear coats, gloves. I bring a blanket.
I would say that in general, the recommendation would be 3 or 4 layers. So a very good base layer, a good mid layer, and then either a warm jacket on the outside.
Know the signs of hypothermia too. If you get dizzy, if you get nauseous, you could need help. Good news, Hartford Hospital says it hasn't had any uptick in hypothermia or frostbite cases this week while we've been experiencing this cold weather. Your reporter in Vernon, Luke Hydash, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, in Hartford, police are working to make sure the homeless have what they need in these cold temperatures. The city doesn't have enough beds at warming shelters, so a homeless outreach officer is working to keep them warm. He's giving out food, winter clothing, and backpacks full of survival gear. Officer Jim Barrett says he's bringing some relief and even keeping in touch beyond the winter months.
How'd you feel seeing Officer Barrett tonight?
Oh my God.
When these guys come back and say, hey, you saved my life because of you, I got my apartment. Because of you, I got my college degree, my 4-year bachelor's degree. You can't put a price tag on that.
A great story to make you smile this morning. If you know anyone who needs help, you can call the Hartford Police Department. Officer Barrett's patrols continue through early March, and you can also dial 211 to get help finding a shelter.
And remember, you can stay up to date here and stay ahead of the cold temperatures by downloading the WFSB News app. A great day to have it. Just scan the QR code there on your screen. We'll be sharing live updates as these frigid conditions stick around.
Well, right now, tens of thousands in the LA area are evacuating because of these fast-moving wildfires here.
Fire officials say one fire is moving so quickly, it's burning the size of 5 football fields a minute.
Wow. Let that sink in for just a second. Roger Suzanne over at the touchscreen this morning, breaking down what we know.
Yeah, ladies, this is really a shocking situation. And just to give you kind of an idea of the scope of this devastation, this is a map from the Department of Forestry and Fire. So the red area here, this is where one of the 3 fires are burning right now, the Palisades fire. But all of this area here in white, just under the red, that's the area that's in the evacuation order zone. And as you head north in California, where this yellow splotch is, those folks are under evacuation warnings. In other words, they need to be ready to move at a moment's notice. But, you know, this map really does not capture the true danger as well of this situation. I want you to take a look at your screen. This is video of a homeowner. You can see him hitting the fire with water, and then all of a sudden, those flames nearly burn him. Now, luckily, that man is okay, but thousands here in the Palisades section of LA have basically lost everything. We've also learned animals are in real danger right now, too. This is from a separate wildfire that's going in Eaton. You can see people were actually helping large farm animals, including that horse, cross the highway to escape the flames. Earlier today, we also learned the Rose Bowl in nearby Pasadena has been set up as a shelter for large animals. That happened around 6 a.m. Now, more than 30,000 people, as we mentioned, have been forced to evacuate, including a few celebrities, including James Woods and Eugene Levy, the actors, and NBA coaches J.J. Redick and Steve Kerr. So many families have been impacted by this tragedy. We'll have much more on this story as it develops. Tracy, I'll send it over to you.
All right, Roger, thank you. Let's get to some other news breaking overnight. A driver now under arrest, accused of leading police on a chase.
We're told they sped off from the Willimantic police, avoiding officers, and then state police eventually caught up with them at a nearby gas station.
Yeah, police say the driver hit 2 state police cruisers in a parking lot and then took off.
Police caught them somewhere along Route 6. No one was hurt. We'll update you as we learn more about that developing story.
Well, this morning, we know the former Waterbury City employee convicted of a hit and run will be heading to jail. John Egan will spend the next 2 years in jail and then 5 years on probation. Police say he was drunk when he hit Brian Kaye back in 2023. The teen will need 24-hour care for the rest of his life. And in court, we saw the teen's father forgive the man who left his son with severe brain damage.
I forgive you, and I hope that you can find peace.
The teenager's family says he is wheelchair bound, but he does have a big goal of learning to walk again.
Happening today, the man accused of killing a mother and her 4-month-old baby in Hartford is expected to be in court. 23-year-old Lance Morales allegedly killed them after a fight over a car, then fled to Puerto Rico. Marshals captured him and returned him to Connecticut. If he's found guilty, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. Well, in just a few hours here, Governor Lamont will be making his State of the State speech.
The legislative session begins in just a few hours, and there's one topic that everyone's been talking about since the summer, those high electric rates. Your reporter, Olivia Schuler, live from the Capitol to explain.
During Lamont's State of the State speech, he'll discuss a number of topics he believes legislatures should focus on. One hot button issue he may touch on is those hefty electric rate hikes. Eversource is placing most of the price hikes blame on Pura. In a letter to town leaders and lawmakers at the end of December, it's important to note that Eversource doesn't generate power, it delivers it. The utility company says supply is expensive to buy, and the company is asking legislators to look at that. The rising cost of utility bills will likely be ironed out among lawmakers during the legislative session. There are 20 new House members this year. After opening day, things could get heated rather quickly. Lawmakers have to adopt a balanced budget for the next 2 years. Now, the governor will enter the House chamber at noon today. Then he will deliver his 7th State of the State address. Your reporter in Hartford, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Whew. Today to cover up any exposed skin. It is rough out there today and tomorrow. First alert weather days. for that bitter feel. Otherwise, a pretty dry pattern. We've been watching the weekend and trying to keep you updated with the latest information. Right now, it looks like just a chance for light snow at this point in time. And as we take a look at the wind gust right now, 32, that's the strongest down towards New Haven. And you can see that flag blowing in the wind in Mystic. Beautiful sunrise, though. That's the only thing pretty about being outside is enjoying that sunshine, because it feels, rough on the skin. 6 is the feels like temperature Torrington, 13 in Hartford, and it doesn't get really much better today. We will have that feel in the teens. The actual highs in the 20s, 22 Litchfield, 27 in Windsor, 23, my favorite number, in Tolland and Stores. And these numbers are all below average. Remember, we're supposed to be in the mid-30s. We'll get back there, don't you worry. So we're going to be timing out that so-called warming trend back to normal and get into details regarding that chance for light snow coming up here shortly.